So the Gun Violence Archive database shows there have been more than 2,600 homicides this year, and Pennsylvania continues to fight gun violence. Last week, Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis joined law enforcement and healthcare workers at Reading Hospital, which recently received $600,000 in state funding for hospital-based violence prevention. And he actually joins us now. Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be with you.
Yeah, great to talk to you again. So how does the administration's hospital-based program work within the state's violence intervention program?
We're funding programs to try to eliminate gun violence in our communities right at the hospital bed. Oftentimes, we know gunshot victims come into a hospital for support, and we want to make sure that we get them the help they need, not only from the hospital perspective, but to make sure that they're no longer a victim of gun violence, or make sure they have the opportunity to live in a community that's safe and free from gun hospital, and the investments we're making in hospitals all across the Commonwealth.
Yeah, so can you explain that, meeting victims of gun violence at the bedside, for people who may not understand, why is resorting some attention to that important? Why do actions like that matter?
It matters because we know people who are victims of gun violence in their communities tend to live in communities that are ravaged by gun violence. We want to make sure that we're saving as many lives as possible. Every Pennsylvanian has the right to both be safe and feel safe in our communities. And we recognize we can't just police our way out of this issue. We have to make sure we're investing in community-based strategies that work. One example of that is the hospital-based intervention programs. Another example of that is the community violence interrupters that we funded in York, in the city of York. They have made tremendous strides in making the city of York safer and have been recognized as a national model. So we know that we have to do a mix of these programs to make sure that we're keeping that foundation of safety and security here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and are there any initiatives or measures to better protect healthcare workers? I mean, we just saw a horrific mass shooting that happened at UPMC in York. Are there any attention to that, to healthcare workers in particular?
Yeah, certainly my heart goes out to the police officer's family that lost his life in that incident, and all the healthcare workers who are involved. We've worked very closely with UPMC and a number of hospital providers across the Commonwealth to make sure those facilities are safe and secure. Many of those hospitals have police officers based on site. We stand ready to continue to support them with even more resources should they come to us and ask. But I think what we're doing is to make sure communities are safe, that we don't lead to incidents like the one we saw at UPMC, to make sure folks have access to mental health supports, to making sure that we have violence intervention and prevention interrupters in our communities to stop gun violence before it happens, and also to make sure we're investing in ladders of opportunity for folks to be successful, because we know the best way to take a gun out of somebody's hand is to put a paycheck in it.
Yeah, and speaking of communities, I understand there is also a $10 million proposed increase for the VIP program. How would that specifically help our communities here in Lancaster, York, and Harrisburg?
Yeah, that additional $10 million will continue to go to invest in hospital-based violence intervention programs like we talked about before, but also investing in community violence interruption, making sure that communities, police departments have the staff to deal with the social services side of things to prevent gun violence. We know that we need to fund. There are people working every day across Pennsylvania to prevent gun violence in our communities, and we need to support the work that they're doing on the ground, because oftentimes these people know their communities best, and we know they are an aid to the law enforcement officers who are in that communities, who are tasked with policing it and keeping it safe.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it here. Collaboration is so key, especially between local law enforcement, healthcare workers, and the local leaders. In your role leading the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, what have you heard from each of these groups? What are some of their challenges that they're facing?
I think one of the challenges is that making sure that we continue to have sustainable funding, and we're creating an ecosystem and a community for folks to work together collaboratively to make sure we're keeping our community safe. We have to take a comprehensive approach to this issue of gun violence, and that's what Governor Shapiro and I have been doing in our time in office, from funding police officers through recruitment and retention grants, to investing in violence intervention programs through the VIP grant program to outside factors like making sure we're investing in education and workforce development programs. We have to make sure that we give people multiple opportunities to succeed and to live the American dream right here in Pennsylvania, whatever that looks like for them and their family.
All right, Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis, thank you so much for being here, for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be with you.